Hello, hello, everybody. How is it going? I hope you all are doing well. Let's put my phone here. Hey, Mimi, how's it going? So, Bandit, you want to say hi? Come here, Bandit. Yeah. Okay, fine. Bandit doesn't want to say hi, I guess. Bandit's being rude. How rude. Okay. Shush. Hey, Kawana. How's it going? So I tried to decide if I was gonna go live about this or not. And because I'm really honestly tired of talking about PG, but I guess in a way this is important for Summer's case. So somebody told me, they were like, if you don't put it, which I think I've already put this out there. This would have been from October of 2021. When this happened. So this is a very, very beginning of the case. He's a male, that's why. Hey, Ivy, Linda, Merge. Soul sister. So sorry, but anyways, and tonight, and also we were gonna go live on with Cher. There's bad weather over there, like she was under a tornado warning and stuff, and so she didn't even know she's got Wi-Fi. So we just decided to schedule it tomorrow, and so I decided to come on here for a little bit, even though I do have another live scheduled on my tarot channel that I just remembered about. But I have a little bit of time, like a half hour or something that we can talk. And I don't have much to say about it, except just exactly what happened. It was a very, this was back in October of, let me see. Let's put this one on the screen. Yeah, we'll use this one, that one. Okay. This one up here first. I always come with receipts. I think it's this one. We'll start with that one on the screen while we're waiting for people to get here, because that would be the initial one. Hey, country girl. Yeah. We'll let Pergern explain why Equusearch was very much trying to get a hold of her in the beginning of the case. And I'm going to show you how many times, like, she completely would ignore it. She would not, she would, suddenly when Equusearch was trying to get a hold of her, suddenly she kind of went ghost a little bit. I was trying to remember about how this all went down. Hey, I'm too honest. I was trying to remember how this all went down, so I contacted the woman today. I hadn't talked to her for like a year. I talked to her a little bit last year, in the summer before Freda got here. She's no longer affiliated with Equusearch, but she was at the time that summer first went missing. And she was affiliated with the Midwest branch, obviously, because that's the one that was covering Summer Wells. And she had reached out like very early on when she heard Prayer Garden come up on my panel. Hey, Paula. But I contacted this woman today because I was trying to remember how everything went down, just so I can remember how to get it right, because it's so long ago. Okay. This is like 4 years ago. Fred, I can hear myself. I can't talk. Or I can't. Oh, he's going back outside. Okay. I was hearing him, or hearing myself on his speaker. So I contacted her to ask her. I was like, I said, I'm just trying to confirm, did Prayer Garden, ever reach out to you guys? Like, and because I'm trying to remember how it happened. And at this time, I didn't have Prayer Garden's phone number or a phone number. She was just emailing me. She was so terrified of people finding out who she was. But for some reason, she contacted Benny by phone before she actually had given me a phone number. So I was like frantically, when I got this email from Equusearch, I was like, oh my God, because that was like a big deal at the time, because Equusearch was a big name in the case at the time. And I was like, oh my God, they want to talk to you, And like, I couldn't get a hold of her. I kept emailing for days, and then she would email back, and she canceled. Okay, you'll see. There's a bunch of. Let me think here, how to do this. Window. From the window to the wall. Yeah, well, let's see. Which one should I share first? Which one? Well, probably the one I have up actually would be the best one I just had up. I'm going to pull it up a different way here. Did I close it out? Hold on. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. So the woman emails me, said, hey, Ziggy, I'm with Equusearch, and I was wondering if you can put me in contact with Prayer Garden, please. Okay. Hold on. We might add a share here in a little bit if I have some time. I'm supposed to go live on my other channel, but we might add her a little bit for a little bit of discussion. So she messages me or emails me and says, I am with Equusearch, and I was wondering if you could put me in contact with Prayer Garden, please. And I respond to her. I just say, is there any way you can prove that you're actually with Equusearch, just in case she asks? I'll email her now and ask her if it's okay to give out her email, just in case, if you have any proof of being with Equusearch, that might be helpful. So this was October. Well, she emailed October 19th, and I saw it on the 20th. And so she did send back, and I did talk with her myself. Let's see which one. Right here. Yes, I can. And Dave Radar and I are wanting to talk to her. His number is, and mine is, I have been doing research on this case since the beginning. I also have things I can tell you if you want that I have not talked to anyone about. But Dave, you know it's hard to trust anyone in this case, but I have been watching your channel as well as others, and I'm hoping I can talk to you. I will attach some pictures to prove who I am. And then, so I contact her. I contact Prayer Garden and I say, hey, this is important. There is a lady that claims to be with Equusearch who is trying to get in contact with you. I replied to her and I asked if she could send proof that she is actually with Equusearch, but I wouldn't give her your email until I had your permission. I told the lady you might want proof that she is who she says she is first. But I imagine they probably want to talk to you because they want to try to figure out where that house was that Don was working on that had the bad stench. And I couldn't, she wasn't contacting me back. So I kept emailing her. Like I said, super, super important from Equusearch. Please call her. I have verified she's who she says she is. So I kept emailing her because she wouldn't respond. Any other time she'd email in seconds, right? Super, super important. Please call her. I verified her. I have verified and spoke to her. Right here, it's like, oh my God, it's super important. You call at the phone number. In this screenshot, she's really from Equusearch. I verified and spoke to her. Let me make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. So I kept emailing her for days. Let's see. Or that one's a little bit later. Right, here's one. Hey, are you going to contact Equusearch? The 21st. Right here, here's the 20th, still on October 20th. Hey, are you not contacting Equusearch because they really need to talk to you? She goes, and look, she doesn't, and watch, this is her response. Hers is the first response I finally get back to her. From it was the same day, so but she doesn't mention anything about Equusearch. She says, hello Ziggy, I need to cancel tonight. I'm just really overstressed and need to decompress for a while, and I have humans threatening me. One was in your chat last night. Also, I have been told that TBI might not want me to share some of what I was going to put out tonight. Now I have to run it through them due to it's called self-incriminating evidence to Donald. I have to run, but we'll hit you back once I'm done talking with all this law enforcement. I know I'm doing right, but I think after this case, I will never pick up another one. So what's going on in the chat, guys? Are you guys seeing what is it showing you guys what I'm looking at on the screen? Yeah, she's sitting here trying to act like, oh, I'm just so busy with TBI, and they might not want me to share anything. And she doesn't say anything or respond anything right here to me. She doesn't respond anything about Equusearch. Like I sent her like 3 emails by this point, saying, please call Equusearch, please call us. So she just ignores it. Okay. And I started to notice like she wouldn't say anything. I'm like, hey, are you not going to call it? Are you not contacting Equusearch because they really need to talk to you? And I just kept, let's see, what date we got here. The 20th, 21st. Are you not going to contact? Are you going to contact Equusearch? The 21st. This is her on the 19th. Okay. That was before I heard from Equusearch. And so right here on the 21st. Wait, where's the 23rd one first? There's a 23rd one I passed up. Right here. Hey, are you doing okay? I understand not wanting to go live anymore, but I'm just checking on you. The 23rd. She just like goes ghost as soon as Equusearch wants to contact her. She was going live on my panel constantly, wanted all this tension, and then all of a sudden, Summer's Army, she's nowhere to be found. I said right here, hey girl, I'm sorry if I upset you. I was just hoping you would contact Equusearch, but that is up to you. You can always block your phone number before making a call by dialing star 67 first. You can use someone else's phone if you're worried. Anyways, have you checked this out? Is this yours? Oh, and then here she goes. Okay, then finally, October 24th, the first time she mentions Equusearch after every day now for 4 days, I've been talking to her about Equusearch, and she will sit there and ignore it. She won't she will not. And then she finally, this is the very first time she mentions or acts like Dan Armstrong might know. But finally, on October 24th, are you guys really seeing the right emails? Okay. I think you are actually. All right. Here she finally responds about it the 24th. 4 days. And she finally acknowledges it. She says, hello, Ziggy. I did call Equusearch at 281 blah blah blah. Which, by the way, not any of the numbers I gave her. That's not a fucking number I gave her. I mean, mind blown. She refused to contact the fucking phone numbers I gave her that the woman told me to have her call. So what did she do? She Googles Equusearch, okay, and contacts the Texas Equusearch at this 281 number. She goes, as for David, the lady I talked to took my name and number. Later, she called me back and said David knew nothing about what you were talking about. The lady laughed and said, well, David said he knows nothing about it. Before trying to make me into a liar, why don't you fact check my statement with David? I'm sure he can remember the lady calling and asking him about me. But I will call again Monday. I did not get booted off any place. Doug is calling for me to come up. I don't know what that was about, but guess what? I talked to the woman today, guys, and I double confirmed with her. She never contacted them. She only contacted this one time in Texas Equusearch. And the Texas Equusearch, she told me today, they referred her to Midwest and told her, contact Midwest. And she didn't. She knew that Midwest Equusearch was over Summer's case, not Texas Equusearch. In which email was this? Here, these two numbers. I gave this to Prayer Guardian, both these numbers. I gave her Dave Radar's personal cell phone number. right here. She refused to call them. Refused. The number she finally decided to call was right here, which is not one of the numbers I freaking gave her. She Googles this because she was so paranoid. No, really, what's going on is she didn't want people to know who she was because she does not stand behind what she says. Because if you guys remember, she came in at the beginning of the case and was claiming she was on the, had this close relationship with Don and was on the phone with him when the coworker came on or came in talking about something smelling. Yeah, they wanted to talk to her about a stench. But this is just more proof. And I talked about this actually too. I remember now, and I talk about it in this email too, because right here, Prayer Garden is upset. She goes, well, before you call me a liar, because I talked about it on my live back in October of 2021. This was the email that PG was contacting me by. This Jen left. That was what she was contacting me by very, very early on. So October of 2021, you guys got to remember this is all the way back in October of 2021 when they were wanting to talk to her. This is very, very early. I mean, she comes out claiming she has all this information and, that she's been talking to Don Wells and that, she was on the phone with him. But I think that people soon realized she was full of shit. Okay. I mean, especially this was early. This was like within the first couple days of her being on my panel that they wanted to talk to her. This was very, very early on. So right here, October 19th, 2021. So they didn't have yet to probably see that she was full of shit yet, And the fact, I think they really quickly saw that she was because she wouldn't contact them. And from back then, from my emails, it looks like I was under the impression that they wanted to talk to her. Let me see here. Right here. So October 20th, I said, I emailed her Prayer Garden October 20th, and I said, hey, this is important. There's a lady that claims to be with Equusearch who is trying to get in contact with you. I replied to her and asked if she could send proof that she is with Equusearch, but I wouldn't give her your email until I had your permission. I told the lady you might want proof that she is who she says she is first. But I can imagine they probably want to talk to you because they might want to try and figure out where that house was that Dawn was working on that had the bad stench. So for some reason, I thought that's what. But when today I contacted her because we've stayed in contact over the years. But today was the first time I talked to her in like a year because I was trying to refresh my memory about this situation and how it really went down. And I asked her today, I go, what was it that you guys wanted to contact PG about? And she said something about caves, but I don't think that's right. I think it was the stench. Because I told her too, I said, I think also something about a stench. She's like, yeah, but I don't remember Prayer Garden saying anything about caves. But yeah, let's see here. I don't know. Is it actually coming? I can't tell if it's like, oh, oh my gosh, you guys should see these emails I have, like where I'm like, dude, people have been asking for this proof forever. Are you going to show it? And like she would just go ghost and like not show up, or then like send these like crazy video, like one video she wanted us to, I don't know. Someday I have all our, I have maybe someday I'll show our, they're not, I don't think they're, I was reading back on some of her emails and I'm like, dude, she is so full of shit. At the time she was trying to act like, oh, her husband just died, or that her son was trying to say her husband just died of cancer, and like a bunch of bullshit. Put up on screen the emails. I did. Did it not come up? Hold on. Was it not showing the, I don't think it was actually showing all the ones. Well, here's when I asked, this is when Equusearch was asking me to give Prayer Garden their personal cell phone numbers. And at first, you couldn't tell who to believe or whatever, because there was a lot of people like, but she was absolutely legitimate. And then let's see, I thought I was showing the entire screen. Okay, maybe if I do entire screen. Will that work? Okay. Here we go. Let me see if that will work. There. Okay. Here we go. I thought you guys were, I was wondering if you guys were seeing the emails, but so here's where I first email her. I say, hey, this is important. There is a lady, and this is the email that Prayer Garden very first emailed me from this, and she claimed to be Jen Left. I said, this is important. There is a lady that claims to be with Equusearch who is trying to get in contact with you. I replied to her and asked if she could send proof that she is actually with Equusearch, because I wouldn't give your email until I had your permission. I told the lady you might want proof that she is who she says she is first, but I can imagine they probably want to talk to you because they might want to try to figure out where that house was that Don was working on that had the bad stench. Said super important. From Equusearch, please call her. I verified who she is, and who she says she is. So at this point, I had verified that she is really legitimate from Equusearch. And right here, oh my God, it's important you call out the phone number in the screenshot. She's really Equusearch. I verified and spoke with her. This is when I was like the very first email I got from her. It's wondering if you could put me in contact with Prayer Garden, please. October 19th, 2021. I said, is there any way you can prove that you're actually with Equusearch, just in case she asks? I'll email her now and ask her if it's okay to give out her email. But just in case, if you have any proof of being with Equusearch, that might be helpful. And then I start, asking her, like, I keep emailing her, are you going to contact Equusearch? Like, she wouldn't respond. Like, hey, are you not going to contact Equusearch because they really need to talk to you? At this point, October 23rd, I still hadn't heard from her. I said, are you doing okay? I understand not wanting to go live anymore, but I'm just checking on you. So yeah, as soon as Equusearch got in the picture, she went ghost for a while. And I'm just like, and then like right here, I'm like, hey girl, I'm sorry if I upset you. I just was hoping you would contact Equusearch, but that is up to you. You can always block your phone number before making a call by dialing star 67 first, or you can use someone else's phone if you're worried. Anyways, have you checked this out? And I sent her some link, and she responds. Okay, like I said, I finally get a response to like a sign of life from PG. And she's like, October 24th. She's like, hey, I did call Equusearch. And then she puts this phone number. Dude, when I saw that, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. She would not even call the phone numbers I gave her. Like, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. But okay, fine. She Googles Equusearch, but the Texas Equusearch, and calls them at this 281 number. As for David, David's not even a part of Texas Equusearch. He's part of Midwest Equusearch. The lady I talked to took my name and number. Later, she called me back and said, David knew nothing about what you were talking about. The lady laughed and said, well, David said he knows nothing about it. Before trying to make me into a liar, why don't you fact check my statement with David? I'm sure he can remember the lady calling and asking about me, but I will call again Monday. I did not get booted off any place. Doug is calling for me to come up, whatever that means. But today, when I talked to the woman again today, and I asked her, did PG ever contact Midwest Equusearch? And no, she did not ever contact them. She contacted Texas Equusearch, who referred her, told her she needed to call Midwest. They gave her a phone number. She never called. She knew what she was doing when she was contacting Texas Equusearch. She knew that she was not contacting the right ones. I gave her the phone number. She refused. She was so afraid of them finding out who she was. It's crazy. I mean, 423 Chase and PG are connected. Hey, Pam. Let's see. Sure, are you wanting to come up? If you don't want to, it's okay. She did contact the wrong one on purpose. And then once she found out she was, like, you would think, like, once she found out that she had it wrong, like, that she would contact the right one, but no, she didn't. And if I'm probably could ask, I don't know. I don't want to put the woman in a bunch of drama and stuff, and I don't even know how really, really important it is. I'm sure I could get, proof from Equusearch too that she absolutely did not contact them. Hey, what's going on?
You got Jody's cup again.
Huh?
Hold on. I'm echoing, right?
No.
Yeah, I'm echoing.
Hey, Matthew.
Wait, am I echoing now? No, I don't.
Not on this end. You're not,
okay,
but maybe
not now.
You. Yeah, that's the most annoying thing when you're echoing and you can't you can't even hear yourself think.
And I already hate the sound of my own voice, so like I hate listening to myself back. So when I hear myself echo, it's hell.
Yeah, when Frank comes in here and he has his phone on, and he's listening to me and I can hear myself in the background. Oh my gosh, this is the most confusing thing for me. PG was defending Dawn for the long. Yeah, yes, that's what she came on here. That's what she at first was. That's what people thought that I don't know if you remember, Cher, but very beginning before Garden used to come out in chats, and she was on around in the chats before she would go up on before she came up on my panel. She was up around in the chats for about a week or so before she came up on my panel, and people kept accusing her of being Dawn Wells because of how much she was white knighting for him. It was crazy. And then one day she just decided to take a link, and everybody else wanted her to show her face, but she refused to do it. And at that time I let anybody. It was a free for all on Ziggy's.
Right.
So
and most people
and 14, number 4. Dawn knows everything TBI knows. Watch the video and pick up all the hints. Hey, I want to be surprised if I don't know what he's saying about Dan Armstrong, but I kind of found him kind of sus, that Dan Armstrong sus from the beginning. Anyways, I looked into him big time when Lawson's son went down, because Dan Armstrong, I think, was the attorney general, or what attorney general is that, or what's the district attorney? Oh my God.
Is that the same guy who's about to be sheriff next year? Or no?
What?
That's a different guy than who's about to be sheriff, right?
Yeah, Tony Allen is about to be sheriff. But according to a lot of locals, that's even worse than the current sheriff. So,
I think you're right, Val Ventura. I've wondered. I know many of us have wondered that forever.
If what?
PG and Dawn knew each other before Summer went missing.
Yeah, so if she is who I'm thinking, then yeah, I mean, she does have ties back to definitely with Allie. Definitely, because I have that post of her, who I believe is her family, sharing when True went missing, when True ran away. I'm sorry.
What is up with Don Butcher? Everything you're saying is ass backwards, dude. The Wells were doing stuff the church should have been doing. Don't you mean the church was doing stuff the missing girl's parents should have been doing? Come on. That's ass backwards. I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah, I don't understand what John says most of the time. I try to understand what he's saying, but good old boys club. Yeah, and also PG is if she's who I say, then she's definitely connected to Shipley's, which is very freaking weird because I don't even know if I want to get into Bill Shipley right now, but he was just reaching out to people a couple days ago about Fred and I for some odd reason. And it was right when I was talking about PG, and who I believe her son is friends with the Shipleys on his Facebook.
Isn't John Butcher the same one that's supposed to seen Summer and somebody from the church in Ace Hardware? And then ain't he the same one that texted you and said that PG's one sent him to the cemetery to take him pictures of the grave?
Yeah, didn't you say you were? Oh yeah, he did say he was at the grave.
Yeah, he's one that said he took pictures and witnessed Chad there, but the truck he describes ain't even nothing like Chad's truck.
He's a big PG fan.
To your text.
John Butcher's a big PG supporter. Or, I mean, like strongly tied to her somehow.
Fred, did you ever around? But did you see Jody Sue walking in the creek? She says to cover her scent tracks for. I guess she knew that Summer wasn't going to be found and dogs were going to be there because that's her own words, right? Was that normal behavior for her?
Who are you talking to?
Fred.
Were you talking to Fred? He walked
Do
away.
you remember that, Biggie? Jody Sue said she walked the creek without her shoes on. She said she was feeling the bottom of the creek, like basically saying she was searching for if there was like bones or anything on in the creek. She said that, and then she was like, and also to cover any tracks for when the dogs come. How did you know at that point in your mind you knew for sure dogs were going to be there and Summer wasn't coming home? Was she always like just dancing around, twirling in the creek, or what?
I was recording, and she was talking about wanting me to go and look at a certain spot in the creek as you first come in the holler there. At next to the dog trail, there's a deep spot in the creek. She was wanting me to go down there and look at a certain spot in the creek and stuff when I was recording.
And you felt...
I felt like she was
trying to set you up.
Yeah, that's what he thought. So he's like, what'd you tell her?
Because I was like, well, why don't you talk to law enforcement and get them to go down there and look at that certain spot in the creek? Why are you trying to get me to?
But it was on recording, so it wouldn't, Yeah.
And I even talked to law enforcement about it. They said it was strange.
Yeah, I don't understand all that.
They actually looked at the creek right there or whatnot.
I would think water would make the smell go
more
intense.
The smell water does.
And so I don't know what she was like. So she was trying to keep down the tracks for this.
Yeah, I've got it recorded in case you deleted it. I'll have to find it. But yeah, we've all of us had played it more at the beginning. Like when it first come out, we thought, what the hell is she talking about? But yeah, she said she was searching the creek with her feet, and she goes, you know how you search for things at the bottom of bodies of waters for like bones and stuff. And then she was like, and to keep the scent track down for when the dogs get here.
Yeah, that's odd. You wouldn't think like that.
I mean,
right. Like that moment in time, she in her head knew scent dogs were coming for Summer. So she knew Summer was nowhere close and running home at that point.
Yeah. I wouldn't be thinking about, I wouldn't even, who would think like that,
Which was before the law got there. So how she knew dogs were already coming and she wasn't being found, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the creek down through our, around time Summer went missing was at the widest place, maybe 3 foot or something other, and a few inches deep, other than one spot there right in that curve, and it might be a foot deep or something.
Like, what time do you guys think about that was? So we're talking about after Candace said she called the cops, or
what time did we think it was that Candace was supposed, or that
he said around the time Summer went missing? What time do you think that is, Fred? That you can remember.
Like, what time do you think that Jody Sue meant? What?
No, just what he said. Because I know people are going to say that. He said whatever around when Summer went missing. So I'm just asking, what time do you think that was that she went missing? Like, what time are we talking about? Like, was it like, I don't know, was Candace screaming Summer's missing before calling the law, or I don't know.
Because they didn't call the law until 6:30. So
yeah, that's why I'm asking. Like, would you think that's around 3:30, 4:30? You know what I mean?
Right. If I was thinking about Summer went missing at 3:30.
Yeah, but that's why I'm asking Fred, because he was there. Like, what time do you think that was at approximately? I know you can't get an exact time, but
see, on the first evening when I was recording, she stated that Jody Sue stated at 3:20. When she knew Summer was missing at 3:20. She went on to say later that after the conversation kept going and stuff, then she took and said something about hearing a scream roughly 5:30 or something. And then that's why Lyle was like, well, how could she already know that she's gone at 3:20 and then hear a scream at roughly 5:30? That's why they were saying that they didn't believe the scream.
Yeah. Yeah. Because how can she be gone at 3:20, but yet there's a scream at 5:30 or whatever
No, it
time?
wasn't about perfume on her feet. She was talking about how people search for and search for things at the bottom of the water. It had nothing to do with perfume on her feet. Come on. Come on. No, that's not at all what she said. It's all recorded, so that's fine.
What time was Candace on camera at Fred's when she saw Chad? Do you know?
I can't remember exactly time stamp on it. It was about 5, between 5 and 5:30. Seemed like it was like 5.
He is young and a weirdo.
It's afraid to say time because then now people are like, freaking. If he says something a little bit wrong or different, then it's like, oh, you're lying.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Connie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about. Well, no, I was thinking. Why was I thinking about 4:30?
Okay, wait. You know what? You know how? So Candace had said she went for a run. Jody Sue said she left the driveway. Let's not forget that the law straight up told Benny, and I believe this from my own networking with certain current law enforcement and retired law enforcement and all that. I know that Candace left the driveway twice. I absolutely believe what the law told Benny and what Benny came out and said. Now, thinking back, who said you weren't there, but someone said they saw Candace leaving your driveway? That must have been the second time she left, or was that the first? No, the first time she left, or the second time she left your driveway?
I just know that she was on camera.
I think she only was back there one time that day.
Time in and out.
So was that the second time she left, maybe then?
She didn't ever go back there, like back to Fred's. Like that was like probably like the only time ever.
I mean, I've seen her a few times with the boys on motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not going to your house or in your driveway, right? So Dawn, you're used to Dawn coming over and whatever, gabbing, but it was unusual for Candace, you're saying, until Summer went missing to go to your house or be showing up at your driveway?
The only time I've ever known the Candace ever been at my driveway was that day Summer went missing.
What about Dawn? But Dawn would. Like how often before Summer went missing?
Oh, it'd been a while before Summer went missing that he was at my house. It'd been
really
6 months or something.
Yeah, they don't.
What? Dawn made it sound like y'all were besties and playing Uno like every night. Not for real, but like I got it sounded like he was hanging out with you a lot.
Like 15 times or something.
15 times total in your life?
Yeah.
Well, that's not a lot. Yeah, that's not a lot.
But that's like years and years and years, and see, they're like well, I guess it's only like a half mile apart. I was thinking it seems like a mile apart.
I was trying to think what year it was that he actually spoke to me. It was the same year I run Andy Powell off. I run into him at a dollar store, and he talked to me a minute, thanking me for running Randy Powell off. But
he didn't start coming around until after Summer went missing, right?
As soon as Summer went missing, though, he was there nonstop every day.
And I know why that was. It's because Fred saw a certain person on the road. He was, and also, I don't know. Yeah,
and he did get to be a. Finally, just told him not to come back.
Like Uno, Matt. And good night, Bugs.
Who was leaving?
She said she's gonna throw us up on the TV and she's gonna lie down.
Oh, okay. Good night, Bugs. I have the recording fact. She said again recently, everyone knows perfume doesn't deter dogs. I mean,
sorry, no, that's not what was originally said. So whatever. I don't care what that recording.
That's what we've tried to do, John. I mean, we've tried to work together. We're fine. I mean, I will work with anybody who. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I don't. Let's see. I never see. Yes, very true. I never see private chat. I never notice that. Oh. Yeah, Don thought smoking crack. Yeah, he thought like, he didn't even know Fred enough to know that Fred didn't, that wasn't even, they weren't, see, the thing is, they weren't into the same drug. See, Fred was into, speed, and Don was into crack cocaine. So they didn't really and in there, like after Summer went missing, Don tried to get him to,
when he come back from Knoxville once, trying to be crack buried.
Wait, what?
Trying to be a crack fairy when he was handing out crack to everybody.
He was loud, he was, but I don't see
he was trying to get to smoke crack with them, and also go back to Knoxville with them to negotiate a debt.
What?
Yeah.
Was trying to get Fred to go negotiate a debt with him?
Yes.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
He actually
Like
and stuff.
For why?
I don't know. He talked like he owed some money and stuff, and wanted to know if I'd go with him to Knoxville to try to talk to him about what he owed and stuff.
Okay,
and
he's not allowed to have a gun. Did you have a gun? He wanted the muscle.
Oh no, I ain't carrying no gun.
Oh no, never, no. But I know he used to bring up guns all the time in the.
But yeah, he was like trying to. That was around the time that he was worried. That was before the boys were taken.
Yeah, that's my opinion why he called DCS to come get the boys, because
he didn't call for them to get the boys. You don't believe that, do you, Fred? Because that's not how CPS works.
Yeah, he did. That's what he said. Anyways, he's called them.
He told me that he called. He didn't say he called them over to death or not. He told me that he called them because the boys wasn't safe and stuff there. It was getting too dangerous because of all the YouTubers. Is what he told.
And then that's the time also. Yeah. And then he was worried about the boys being taken, and that's why he acted like he was worried about the boys being taken and wanted Fred to go with him to Knoxville and negotiate a debt. So, and then it was like soon after, or was it that same time that he said he called called CPS? But that's what he said. But Don, he was saying that he called CPS to come get the boys, but of course he also came on here to say
stuff at night. Thought they was tracking his phone and stuff, and got rid of that phone he had that night too. Yeah, because he was trying to get me to get rid of my phone, and I said, "Why there ain't no sense in me. There's no reason why. I'm not being nowhere."
Right.
Then he was like, "Well, they might heard their conversation."
You're thinking, yeah, I'm wound up.
But also you have to think too, CPS was already involved. So if he's calling, and plus if he's he was all messed up too. From my understanding, he called him drunk or something. I
know that night he was cracked out of his mind.
Yeah, so they probably, it was probably, who knows, what the real true story, exactly how it went down. Probably somewhere in between.
What he told me, I don't know.
No, yeah, I believe he told you that. I'm just letting you know that's not how CPS works. Because he went on the news and said that, so I believe that for sure, because Don's an idiot, but you can't just, I don't know if you can.
Well, if you call, like you say, if you call and call drunk and cracked out of your mind, they might be a little concerned. I don't know.
No, I actually am wondering. I kind of want to call it. I kind of, you know what? That's something we can actually maybe somehow research. Maybe, because I've never heard that. If you call CPS and say, hey, my kids are in danger here, and they know you're involved in a high profile case, Like, I don't believe it was because YouTubers were talking about it or whatever, but you have a missing kid. Maybe they would take them, but then you have to think, no, because then you would have eventually got them back, and he failed everything and didn't even do half the shit, because I know what he did or didn't do. And also, I know that his own kids didn't want to go back
Right.
and such. So I don't know. Maybe he did tell and ask to be taken, and then they were like, found reasons for them to be taken after.
Maybe,
I don't know.
maybe they were going to take him anyway.
You know, because he
maybe,
said bullshit
maybe
for all this time that, you know,
you're
I
right.
haven't called to see the CPS do that. Maybe we should.
He maybe he did call and say that, but maybe, I mean, but it probably maybe it wasn't actually what, because you're right, because you can't just call them and say, okay, and then they're gonna just come out because you say so. I mean, I wouldn't think so,
Right.
but I do understand. I don't know.
You can be dropping off kids in little boxes now at fire stations and stuff. Like, maybe. Like, I don't know. You know what? I guess I can't fully call Dawn a freaking liar until I actually research into that. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll call and say,
Whether it's the truth or not is a
I'll
whole
see if we
other
can
thing.
somehow research that, like with some people with credibility, you know, in CPS work or law enforcement work, and see what they think about that.
I mean, it was just awful.
Hey, you might as well.
Matthew, is that really you on Facebook? What? He has a funny alias on his Facebook, but anyways, he's asking for interview number 4. Yes, we could do interview number 4. I can't promise that Fred would be there though, because Fred's like shy, or he's just weird. You have to kind of just ease him in, but CPS was there Monday. Where are they wanting somebody to get checked? Probably there. Yes, I'm sure that they would have. You know, school was about to start. And what's that too about her being enrolled in a school that wasn't even?
Yeah, she's supposed to be enrolled in Kepler Elementary School.
But wasn't that school wasn't
It was
even?
done shut down.
So that's weird.
Me and
PG.
we'll discuss that tomorrow. I don't even want to go there tonight, but yeah, Ziggy and I talked about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Which
'Cause
one?
I will lose my shit, and it's not my channel. So tune in tomorrow to me and friend Ziggy and Mark.
Oh wait. Oh no, you can or we don't have to talk about it now if you want to. If you want to, that's fine. But I mean, that shit's messed up. That's crazy. If that's for, yeah. Now I can't. Now how am I not going to comment on it? That's not. That's yeah.
Let me get the first so we can actually hear it, Ziggy, and then
Okay.
we can
comment. Okay, that's true. Have the actual play it from this horse's mouth first, and then we'll comment. Oh, that's only fair. Okay. John, I would work with PG. I mean, why wouldn't I work with PG? I mean, I would, but we tried. Like Fred tried everything to help her, and she just, unfortunately, she doesn't. You know, it obviously she just doesn't stick to. I don't know. She has certain things that she believes, and she sticks to it, and won't go from there. I don't know. Anyways, I didn't realize Candace and St. Clair was a real thing. So yeah, I mean, I think it was. I don't know if the St. Clair thing is really a real thing. That's what I wonder too. Me and Fred talk about that too. Did she really go to the St. Clair gas station, or is it
St. Clair, Wisconsin?
No, St. Clair, there was this gas station that, that early on in the case, it was talked about a lot, that Candace had stopped by there and supposedly went to the bathroom.
Oh, the gas station.
It's 45 minutes.
Clair, Wisconsin.
It's 45 minutes away though. So, like,
Yeah,
I don't
40
know.
minutes away normally, but you have to think how Dawn and Candace drive. It's 15 minutes away.
40 minutes away. Yeah, so I don't know how that would be possible. And if she was really there, that would make me, I would be wondering if she was in that, if Candace would have been in that area.
I don't think she was there.
Yeah, I remember that was talked a lot early on.
Nobody put proof out.
Well, I do know that was isn't that the hippie store or something, or the hippie house? What? Oh, I didn't see Sage, that you asked I can't do it on here. So it's not, why are you what's going on? What's the big deal? I didn't even see it. Jeez. People, can we please be adults? I didn't see it. Hey Juniper.
They said, what route do you think she would take from Ben Hill to St. Clair?
What the heck did I do to Sage? Law enforcement has a photo over there at 5:30.
Most likely, if she went from Ben Hill to St. Clair, most likely she went down Beach Creek and turned on. Oh shit! I'm trying to think that road. I can't even think that road now. Webster Valley, and went out Webster Valley to Highway 70, and then turned right on Highway 70 to 66, most likely. The same way the bus always traveled, because that's the shortest route. Because Cherokee High School is not far from St. Clair Market.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, I'm sorry, Sage. I didn't mean to offend you. I don't know what's really happening, but I like both you guys. I don't want to, I don't want to get in the middle of things. So a lot of times I do stay out of stuff. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that I just don't want to.
I had no idea that there was even an issue, but I know what I heard, and then you even just said we were both right. So why? No.
All right, it's okay, Fred. I think she wanted to call Equusearch because she said it was. I think she wanted to call Equusearch because she said what? Yeah, it was made up. I remember she was supposed to call law enforcement several times in her early days on her panel, and she would disappear also. Yep. And she sent me and I'm looking through my old emails and stuff, and I saw a screenshot she had sent me because people kept asking for proof of her calling law enforcement, and she sent a screenshot of her calling, but it wasn't any type of proof. I mean, I could type in a number and hit send and hang up. You know what I mean? It didn't have any type of time or anything to it. She never had any type of proof ever. And I gave her many chances, and I lost a lot of a lot of people really. I had a lot of hate for having her on, and I kept asking her too. I would be like, why don't you just have your own channel? And she was just so afraid of people knowing who she is. And that's the main reason why she wouldn't call Equusearch, because she knows she couldn't stand behind the stuff she was saying. You know what I mean? If you can't stand behind the stuff you're saying, don't come on here and freaking put it out to, thousands of people. If you're afraid for Equusearch or, law enforcement to know who you are, that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, like a head in the box, like crazy stuff, you know?
I'm trying to type it, but I'm not.
I wasn't either hair curlers. And I like Sage. I don't want people, but we'll talk later. I'm sure it'll be fine.
What, why did she leave Equusearch? Did she say or no?
Why did she
Or maybe you can't say.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was anything like bad or anything. I think she's gotten married and just changed life. I don't know how much she wants me to say, you know what I mean? I can ask her like if it was anything, if she we talked like last year she was gonna do an interview. I can maybe talk to her again and see if she wanted to maybe come on and talk about her experience and stuff. I don't want to put pressure on her, but yeah, it would be cool to hear her experience. I mean, she's talked to me a little bit. She did say that there was, like, today she was telling me and Fred about, like, something that she wouldn't tell me early on that she can tell me now is, like, there was a stint. I guess there was, like, some kind of, like, she said when you went to Beach Creek off Ben Hill Road and you go left, it was, like, the next, like, the guardrail, under a guard, there was a smell of of death or whatever that had been reported to law enforcement, and Equusearch let law enforcement know, and they wouldn't let Equusearch check it out or anything, so they never heard anything more about it. But she was telling me about that, and they were really interested at first in Donwell's mom's grave at first. Early on, I remember that. But yeah, she's not Twyla. It's not Twyla, guys. I know a lot of people think it's not her. She isn't afraid for them to know who she is. She doesn't want to get caught up in the lies. You don't think I think she doesn't want people to know who she was she's very, very terrified, which I did lose a lot of subscribers over her, but I mean, I did have a lot of people. Hold on a second. But she doesn't want to get caught up in lies. Hey, Mama B. Yeah, she thinks I mean, I did. There would be a lot of people in the lives when she come in, but man, let me tell you, the headache I would have after it was just not worth it. What happened to Cher? She dropped. So, how the searchers were watching for. Yeah, he did. She absolutely went up on panel and showed her face. It was Critical K, I believe, because Allie's mom, Sherry, was talking. Who did, Angel? if Dawn went to work on June 16th and this was an accident cover up, it would make sense why they wanted to. Yeah, so Prayer Garden was talking about early on some kind of smell that she talked about. Oh, this smell, the smell, like how she was on the phone with Don Wells and a coworker came in when he was working. Complained about a smell. Oh, it smelled like death and blah blah blah, and which Don like explained that could be, like old mud can smell bad, I guess, supposedly. But anyways, like she talked about this or something also about like Summer being, she used to say the most horrible things, talked about Summer being like put in a wall. Like she had this saying, like talked about she always say Summer's dead body in the wall, put Summer's dead body in the wall. Like she just talked so like, I don't know, inappropriately. Never, anyways, never watched what she said at all. But Equusearch at first, before they obviously, it was very, very early on. I think it was like her second time on my panel. They wanted to talk to her. But it didn't take very long for them to see that she was full of shit, like the rest of us, like, have seen. That really made me uncomfortable, though, that she didn't want to talk to law enforcement. If you're Summer's Army, how can you be Summer's Army if you won't even freaking assist law enforcement or Equusearch? Amanda, did you see Robin or David at the Wells often? I'm trying to understand why she called them first so continuously that night. No?
I've never seen them at the Wells. I've been up on the Wells this summer. I just have to see them if I'm going in and out of holler. I don't really see them.
You've never seen them before ever in your life, have you?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever would have ran into Dave.
Or Tim Mullins.
No, yeah, none of those people. And he wasn't around, Don and Candace ever really.
I would have seen except anyway if they had been coming out of their driveway or something, or coming into their driveway as I was going in or out.
Yeah. I mean, Don would come down after Summer went missing, like, all the time. But before then, like he said, probably 15 times, like, in all the years. She also went by Candy for You or something like that when she first started her channel. As she replied to a comment I left using that, it showed a blonde lady with a big multicolored round sticker, or round sucker. It showed a blonde lady with a big multicolored round sucker. Candy for You. Hey, Rosemary. Right, Ivy. I think, yeah, I think so. I think a smell would develop very soon after. Not only that, do you guys, when a body starts to decompose, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to try to paint a picture for you guys, but. Oh, you want to say hi, Athena? Oh, dude, she was like so protective of Don Wills at the beginning. And oh, I mean, and the stuff she wanted to just talk so much crap about Candace and just like trashed her like so bad. But Dawn, she just it would yeah, there was some pretty knockdown, drag out, blowout fights on old Z days between PG and some of you guys on my panel, because she really had a way of upsetting people. I don't even know how. I don't know how, like, I guess because she doesn't allow it. She just blocks anybody who
You
she.
just say hi and text you block you. How
Yeah.
are you doing anything? She likes talking to herself. I mean, just like Jody's before some of this and stuff, she never called nobody by a monster or this or that or what can come
Attention.
her.
Yeah. Jerry Sue has all these nicknames for people, but never was like that before Summer went missing. But now it's like, why is she is and Fred has a theory on that. His theory is that for why Jody Sue's has these nicknames for people. It's so that she get, like, if it's ever brought up in court, like any of these clips.
If she's using their real name, it could be used against. But if she's calling on monster or this or that, then
then they can't ever prove who exactly she was talking about.
Even though they know a certain person that she's referring to, they still can't use
it. That's his theory. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Sage. Okay. I didn't. Okay, it's okay, Sage. I'm sorry. I didn't see. I think I know why. Or kind of. It's okay. I'm sorry. No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I understand. Some people, for some reason, seem to think if somebody's a mod for a certain channel, then that all of a sudden they're affiliate. Like, I have mods that do not. I mean, do not agree. All my mods, like, they don't agree with everything. So it's silly. I understand too, because I understand why people wouldn't want to don't sometimes want to be mods, because for some reason, if you're a modded channel, you'll get targeted for no freaking reason. It's ridiculous. So might as well just not be a mod for any channel, if it's going to be like that. I'm sorry, I wasn't really. So when I have somebody on panel, I get like real bad about not reading the chat. People used to get so mad at me about that back in the day when we would have like panels of people always on panel. Like, people would be like, "Oh, look at her. She won't respond unless you have to send a super chat in order for her to respond." It's like, it's because I couldn't concentrate. I'm so ADHD, like. So I would just pay attention to the people on panel, in order to keep, the show going. The show must go on. Like, I couldn't, and I couldn't concentrate on both. And back then it was like a lot more hectic. But yeah, it's hard for me to do both, like the panel and the chat. You know what I mean? I had to pee really bad, but Has anyone seen Killer's post that he's putting out about who is related to others? No. Did you see it, Fred? Huh? I guess Fred can't hear. Which one? I haven't watched The Truth of the Hill yet. I don't think. No, I haven't seen it. Hey man, when you time someone time out for something they yeah, see, it's silly. So sometimes I understand if you're not one I won't be offended and you know, Sage had to say it publicly because for a reason and I didn't understand at the time, but now I understand because for some reason people like can't get a clue. So sometimes you have to yell it from the rooftops. I think Killer is talking about PG and Marlena. No, are you serious? Where'd you see this post? I don't see it. Which one's that? The truth? Is it the truth of the hill? Is that the truth of the hill? My stomach's making really weird noises. Maybe I should go ahead and try to play it because I had to pee. And it will give me a minute to play it. Are you guys is that what you guys are talking about? This one? Yes, it's about PG and Marlena and way more. Yes. Oh wow. Where is it? Did he take it down? Aw. Killer 18. Hey RR. It's just a trailer. Truth of the Hill. Okay. So this is it then. Okay. All right. Let me play this while I also I have to use the bathroom really bad. Here we go, guys. Killer, please don't strike me for playing this for longer than a minute.
Oh, Killer, it's so good. In the Summer Wells case, the suspects are all connected, some by blood, some by history, and some by something far darker. But what if the connections didn't stop at the suspects? What if the very people profiting off Summer's story on YouTube were never strangers to it at all? Look around the true crime community. Notice anything? Clusters, cliques, teams, creators, moving like coordinated units. And then there are people like us, independent, data-driven, obsessed with truth, mocked, pushed out, silenced, especially when we challenge the script. Killer Looks has always been different. We don't just chase rumors, we chase records. We don't follow the crowd, we follow the trail. We protect the silenced, we clear the innocent. We expose the hidden, we stand up when the rest run. But now, for the first time, Killer takes a look at a creator. The veil is thin, the curtain is falling. 2025 is the age of truth. It was written in the stars, long before YouTube, long before Summer vanished. It's in the ancient texts, and it's happening now. The suspects cannot hide from this truth, and neither can these creators. Right now, in real time, there are certain creators, certain teams being unmasked for their networks, for their silence of real data.
Oh my God, this is great. I snorted laugh as I told PG in a message. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Oh man. Yes, please. I love the truth. I seriously do. I love the truth. So yeah. Thank you for sharing his link. We're going to keep watching this because this is great. I love this.
For their ties, not just to each other, but to the very people they cover in the Summer Wells case. But what would you say if one of the biggest creators, in this case, one who has shared more data than almost anyone, is directly related and tied to local names, tied to 110 Ben Hill Road, Goad, Smith, Trent, Overbay, Morlock, the names you've seen in deeds, in tax rolls, in death records, in arrest logs. It goes deeper than you think. And now, there's no turning back. A creator has never been discussed in Relic School until now.
Well, I know it's not me, so but if it's not me, I'll tell you that. But you know what? This is really, really, really crazy because I was just talking. Me and Fred were just talking about something today, and actually, I was just talking to somebody else today too. And I said, "Don't tell anybody because, well, it wasn't, I knew people wouldn't really believe it, or so I didn't want to, another thing Fred said. But yes, like it, law enforcement are looking into, they use the word, what's the word? What was the word, Fred? Conspiring. Law enforcement is looking into charging certain YouTubers with conspiring. Certain YouTubers in the Summer Wells case. It's what I heard. Just what I heard. They said conspiring.
Now, it's time.
Could this be like, and think about it, because there are people in this case, or creators in this case, who came out here just for the purpose to confuse in the Summer Wells case, or just to try to confuse and make things look a certain way. And it's a big conspiracy.
The lies end here.
I hope he does. I hope he really does. Find out. Is this really? Do you guys know? Is he talking about PG? Does it? I mean, that's really the only person I could really think of, I guess. But I don't think she's ever brought any type of real information. I mean, she thinks she does. It's a lot of fake stuff about like Head in the Box. So I don't know. Is that who he put Marlene on the screen? But I also saw like even Fred on the screen, and I can tell you this: it's not me. So oh no, this is the video, because he's talking about in it that he's going to be exposing a YouTube creator who's tied to all these people. They're tied to the that's tied to the Wells. It looked like and like if PG's who I think she is, if PG's who I think she is, then yes, like I saw her friends with Shipley's, which was also weird, because the second that Bill Shipley contacted somebody recently too, which was very odd when we started talking about PG, which is very, I don't know. But I definitely feel like, like PG was somehow connected to Allie. I've always felt like that. Wait for the last photo. PG lied to Wells about who she was from day one. She told him her name was Kathy Morrison, and that is her name at all.
The truth is coming soon.
last picture that I was supposed to see. Which one do you guys wanted me to see? That. It was since I was trying to get right on that red one part because I was trying to read who he has on that. You can't leave us in suspense like that, dude. Just trying to see what that says right there. It says 14th Dudley, Andy, Dobbs, Jody, 15th Don, Fred, Grandis, Candace. PG and Marlena. PG is looking that one. Lady Sherry. Throw a moment from the train. What? Oh man. I haven't seen that movie forever. I might have to watch that tonight just for good old days. Well, he had right here. Hold on. Where's my cursor? There was a list. At some point, I thought it was like way earlier on. Dang it. Right here. Don Wells, Goad, Smith, Trent, Overbay, Morlock. 110 Ben Hill Road. Goad, Smith, Trent, Overbay, Morlock. Oh, we did watch it all. Hey, Chloe. Morlock Farm before it was anyone's. Showing the evolution. Okay, so then that one's probably not anything about then the people. YouTube creator connected to all? Oh, I thought that said Allie. I was going to say to all. Yeah, and it could, and the reason why it's important is because you have to know who you're getting your information from, because it could be like, that's why I feel like we shouldn't be allowed to be anonymous on here. Like, I really, like, as a creator, I just don't feel like people, if as a creator, I don't know. I'm kind of I kind of feel like if you're on here as a creator, you shouldn't be allowed to be anonymous. That's just my opinion. Right. He said, I'm asked weather creators does not want to show themselves, right? Most of us, like, are ourselves. Tiffany goes her by her own name. I mean, I go by Ziggy, but everybody knows my real name, like, for the most part. It's just it is what it is. Cher goes by, well, she always just goes by Cher, her real name. I mean, there's not very many. Benny Cadiz goes by his real name, AB, but it's not him. He's in Canada. I hope he does find.
In the Summer Wells case, the suspects are all connected, some by blood, some by history, and some by something far darker. But what if the connections didn't stop at the suspects? What if the very people profiting off Summer's story on YouTube were never strangers to it at all? Look around the true crime community. Notice anything?
That could be, like, seriously? Like, what if, like, yeah, I mean, what if it could be, like, some of these, like, I don't know. It could be I've seriously, I've heard of law enforcement, like, was talking about, certain YouTube creators, some kind of conspiracy charge. And I don't know what that exactly means, but I would assume that means, like, if you're coming on here, you know, to try to change public opinion, like by putting out misinformation, I guess it's like actual crime. I don't know. She just texts me. She's afraid to show herself. She doesn't stand behind what she says. That's why. Tim is a creator on YouTube. Yeah, he said some of the most information about Summer Wells, and I mean, I guess PG thinks she's probably brought the most, but I wouldn't think she hasn't brought any real information. I mean, at the beginning, I'm trying to think, like, what information we've actually got from her. I mean, we did. I don't know. I'm trying to be fair and think.
Clusters, cliques, teams, creators, moving like coordinated units. And then there are people like us, independent, data-driven, obsessed with truth, mocked, pushed out, silenced, especially when we challenge the script. Killer Looks has always been different. We don't just chase rumors, we chase records. We don't follow the crowd, we follow the trail. We protect the silenced, we clear the innocent. We expose the hidden, we stand up when the rest run. But now, for the first time, Killer takes a look at a creator The veil is thin. The curtain is falling. 2025 is the age of truth. It was written in the stars, long before YouTube, long before summer vanished. It's in the ancient texts, and it's happening now. The suspects cannot hide from this truth, and neither can these creators.
Oh, I love it. Jody thinks she had the most, but she talks so much shit. You don't. Well, surely it's not Jody Sue because, like, we know who that is. Who has came on here anonymously? You know, there's not very many people I can really think of. Have you ever seen where it says Kathy Morrison Cemetery? No. We've got a bunch. If I was on the phone with Donnie, funny she has never played any of those phone calls. Oh, she's played our phone calls with well, she'll only play little clips, like, right? I don't know. I don't really listen to her. I just don't see the point in listening, like, clouding my brain with bullshit. You know what I mean? My memory is bad enough. I don't need to add in a bunch of purposeful misinformation. Why is Ryan saying Fred took Roy Cotton to the top of the hill and supposedly pushed him over in his newest video that Fred planted somewhere? What? That's horrible. I don't know. Ryan saying Fred took Roy Cotton to the top of the hill and that is really quite some claim, and I hope that he can stand by this and has proof of this stuff once he ends up in court, because he is definitely a bona fide liar, and hopefully he is the next one that Killer looks into and finds it and exposes, because him coming into the community was very, very suspicious. He's very obsessed with Fred and Cotton, and Fred's the one that told us all about Cotton. Like, we wouldn't even know about Cotton if it wasn't for Fred. And now here comes this dude who wants to try to put his death on Fred because people are so mad about Fred being right, about Fred seeing Andy on the road, that they now want to, like, get him back in some way and be like, oh, they want to pin something else on him. So that's why we want to do this lie detector test, because I want, like I said, one of the questions, have you ever killed anybody ever? So we could just, like, put all that bullshit out. We haven't heard anything about Cotton since summer of 2023. That would be amazing, because I'm definitely going to have to sue that dude. This guy, the stuff that he says, he says stuff like as if it's fact too. And that's the thing that's going to get his ass in trouble. It's one thing to, like, theorize things, but to come out and say stuff like that is just so crazy. He works for a legit social experiment.
He's interviewing and stuff. Right behind his house is where Cotton was found, Directly behind his house, where he's sitting doing an interview with that man and woman on in the yard.
Yeah, and then he tries to act like he doesn't know.
It's straight behind their house.
Yeah, and then he tries to act like he doesn't know who Betty Jo Simpson is and stuff.
And
He's a total fake.
Simpson's even in that video. I mean, them sitting there, him doing that interview with them.
It's extremely concerning, and his own wife doesn't even stand behind him and what he's saying, because I can tell she's embarrassed by the stuff that what he's been doing lately. I could just tell, how can you stand behind, he's acting ridiculous. Dude needs to get off the sauce.
But don't people think if I was going to rob him, wouldn't I have robbed him at my house? And why would I take him there at their house and stuff and do whatever?
Why would you go and tell, go to law enforcement and Cotton Simpson? Why would Frank go to law enforcement about Cotton Simpson if he...
the only reason I knew anything about where he was even found or anything was through Marvin Simpson, and Betty Jo had talked to Marvin about it. Had called Marvin and told him about the gash in the back of his head and him.
Yeah, and that's why, it goes back.
And that's Betty Jo Simpson's daughter and her old man that Ryan's talking to.
Crazy, Brittany. Ziggy, Ryan got a video up right now. He said he's not looking in the spot where Cotton was found because he suspects Fred could have planted somewhere around the area.
Trust me, the law enforcement spent over a week searching in there when I was talking.
Fred's the one that gave him they told them that information.
In that valley right there. I'm looking for that second cave.
Yeah. Ryan's very desperate, and he will do anything for money. And you look him up, it is concerning when you look him up, and it's like he's been a writer for all these tech or all these company or all these these websites that nobody knows about, that, and he sits there and writes about computers and stuff. He's supposedly this tech expert. He seems to be this expert in, jack of all trades, master of none. He is a bullshitter. I mean, what is wrong with the guy, dude? I mean, it's like people should, it's okay. And he's connected to Eastman too. So he works at Eastman, and that's another thing, which is connects him to Andy Bernard. And he's so up Andy Bernard's ass. It's insane. It doesn't make sense. The only thing that would make sense is if either dude was either working for law enforcement or he's being paid by somebody from Andy Bernard's camp, because why is he acting like this? It's not normal.
See, a lot of people want to know why me and Marvin followed him and stuff. Marvin is his cousin. Marvin wanted to make sure he made it and didn't get robbed and stuff.
They were really Marvin, and that's how. And Fred didn't even, what people don't understand, Fred didn't even hardly know Marvin. He only knew Marvin for a year before Summer went missing.
Yeah, about a year.
Before Summer went missing. But Marvin Simpson is Cotton's really close. They were really close cousins. They were close when they were younger. They hung out,
He went around Marvin a lot.
And so, he wanted to make sure. He thought Cotton was acting weird, Marvin. And so he wanted to follow him and make sure he made it back, because he was all worried and paranoid that he was going to get robbed. And you guys can understand, Cotton was not right in the head. So he was worried about him.
And when we got to the top of the mountain, instead of him turning left going towards his house, he went almost straight through the stop sign towards Betty Jo's and them's, and Marvin's like, well, he's going towards his family,
Yeah.
Surely everything will be okay now.
Yeah.
See, I never.
It's just weird that people are wanting to.
He just talked about having some money on him, but he never did show no money, no nothing.
Right.
I never did know how much money or nothing he had on him.
And it's
Marvin was there when all of it happened. When he was there talking.
Fred doesn't have Fred's not the type to go out of his way to like harms some. He doesn't go looking for trouble like that. He doesn't have that type of history at all. His stuff is everything that's happened has always like came to him. Like that shooting with Roy Fanning came to him, that incident where in Virginia, like with his sister, he was sleeping, that everything. And then he has a dealing charge. That's it. He doesn't go out looking for trouble and trying to harm people, guys. It's crazy, the stuff that people are saying. And I don't get it, because why is these people trying to distract from Summer Wells and what's important? It's almost like they're like not wanting to get the truth, or so mad, like, oh, we're going to get back at Fred because of him coming out about Andy on the road. I'm sorry that your dude was on the fucking road. That's not our fault. Like, you need to take it up with him. It's weird. He does have it out for Fred, and it's just so, and people see it. I know, and I don't, and I can't, and I tell
mean, just like the interviews he's been doing, all of them
are tied to each other.
yeah,
they're the same family.
They're the same family, even it's one guy. Well, not the same family, but this last lady he took and done an interview on.
Mm-hmm.
They're connected with that family, hang with that family, all that.
Yeah, and she just so happens to be the girlfriend of the main meth cook now. Like, allegedly. So, I mean, it's just like, I don't understand. It doesn't really make sense. Like, Fred's the one that came out with it. We wouldn't even be ever discussing Cotton Simpson if it wasn't for Fred. Seriously. Like, so that's what people don't get. Like, Fred came out because of Fred. And letting and Fred's the one that went to law enforcement about Cotton Simpson. So guys, please use your brain. Like, why would Fred go to law enforcement about Cotton Simpson if he...
And the only reason I hadn't done went to law enforcement before then is because Cotton always talked like he talked to law enforcement about it.
And plus, he was insane too. Plus he was crazy, and you didn't know, and you didn't even really know him that well.
And that's what I even told him. I said, I don't know if it's true or not true or whatever,
Yeah.
But this is what he said. Was talking about and stuff. We even discussed him talking to him or whatever, and
yeah, he needs to release.
He did talk to him and stuff, but he said, you know how Cotton is. You can't believe really nothing he says because you don't know if he's telling you the truth or having a vision or.
Yeah.
This.
He was like legit certified crazy, I guess.
He's had a lot of brain surgeries.
Yeah, and so law enforcement take him seriously, and plus you guys don't understand. Like, he also had like, I guess an alcohol problem, right? Drug problem, alcohol. It's certainly at one point he did have alcohol problem. It was either alcohol, drug problem, or something, and he was not right in the head. Like, at one time, I guess he used to be a decent person, but like he got brain damage and stuff.
5 days before they found him and stuff, some family member had filed that new protective order.
Yeah, there's a protective order from his sister 5 days before he passed away.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like.
But hikers that found him supposedly.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking in chat who had found him. But it was supposedly hikers that found him.
Yeah. It's just crazy that why are we distracting? It's like, oh, we're going to try so hard to paint Fred a certain way. Like, well, let's get this freaking, like polygraph. Like, it's supposed to be, I'm hoping it's supposed to be Even though I know it's not going to be good enough for anybody, even if, you know, it comes back that Fred passes, that because I insist on one of the questions being, has he killed ever? Because I'm tired of you saying, he's like, when, you know, if we can't pin Summer on him, oh, let's go to Cotton. But oh, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. When Fred is like one of the nicest people I've ever met. He wouldn't. Don't get right.
I've done my time for the crime I've committed.
They said that Cotton didn't have any money on him. They said that Cotton didn't have any money on him when they found him. Really?
Yeah, they said he didn't have the money.
That's weird. That's creepy.
That's what, Betty Joe had talked about.
Oh.
Marvin and stuff talked about him having that gash in the back of his head and stuff. And see, that's why they done the polygraph, because I mentioned that gash in the back of his head.
Yeah. And that you found out from Betty Joe Simpson.
Well, I found out through Marvin. Marvin said,
"Oh, Marvin,
Betty Joe.
Okay."
Said Betty Joe had just called him and Haskell had come and asked me if I'd heard about Cotton had passed away, and I told him no.
Yeah.
And he was going on about he was supposed to be found from like 60 foot from the mouth of a cave, and so it's had a gash in the back of his head.
And you heard that from Marvin, and Marvin had just heard that from Betty Joe and Marvin's family. So of course Marvin's going to know.
And Betty Joe's his family.
Yeah.
And plus it was straight off the blood, supposedly from her camper, you see. And from my understanding, that's one that they're looking into.
Yep.
The way even a family member of theirs is head drug task force, and he was one talking about it.
I know he is. He's really screwing on defamation of character slander for real. That's weird. About if his wallet was found with no money, that is concerning then, because
see, just like PG, she was stating a certain amount of money and stuff that he was supposed to have at a certain gas station. 2 people at a certain gas station. PG, what PG would say on a phone call saying, "Oh, certain 2 people see him at the gas station with $14,000 and some dollars." I said, "Well, he's come to my house, done worried about getting robbed. Don't you think maybe them 2 people he's worried about maybe robbing him or something?" Because when he gets my house, he doesn't mention it.
Yeah, it's
he's
really
worried about it, you know. So it had to happen somewhere, and she talked like he had like $14,000 some dollars at some gas station and stuff. When he got cigarettes, 2 people at the gas station seen all the money he had. How they know exactly what money he had unless they don't?
Yeah, well, it would explain some things if it's true. If PG's who I think she is, I'm told that the woman that she has dementia, and I always wondered that because I wondered that. I'm like, does she have Alzheimer's? Actually, I said Alzheimer's. It's like she has Alzheimer's or something. She doesn't remember what she says from one day to the next. It's like
then she was trying to say that they seen Laura driving Cotton's vehicle and stuff. No, I know where she got that from. Marvin was driving Cotton Simpson's vehicle the first time he came to my house, and they had stopped by Glen.
Marvin
Marvin didn't get out or nothing,
and he has long blonde hair.
Day.
From far away, maybe he looked like a girl.
That's when he was taken and went to Wallens and stuff, of trying to get me some dope.
That guy's weighing in at about 260, and he's like a goddamn fairy breezing around the ledges of the Hawkins County Parade. Yeah, with his little boyfriend with his butt. I mean, the most unflattering. He gets Andy in the most unflattering poses, positions. like you would think he would help his friend out and like blur it or maybe cut out certain things, but no. Oh man. Say Khan's truck will not start. Fred might have did something to it. Oh my god, that is so crazy. Let me add you back as a moderator. Some of my people were so when my channel was hacked, all my moderators were unmodded, so
But it's just odd that Ryan come out soon as Cotton was mentioned.
yeah.
He come out of the woodwork.
And he even admitted that too recently, that he came out when I did that call with you at jail and you had mentioned Cotton Simpson. And I didn't even think that. I thought he came out because I thought maybe because of you, I don't know. Same time as your sister, it was around the same time. I didn't think it could have anything to do with Cotton Simpson. But I do know when he first came to, he was like saying he was like on here to show his brother the world who was disabled and couldn't hike. And he had this like whole story. And then he said that then he finally decided to go searching for summer. I don't understand it. He seems to be a fake. A phony. I wonder if the dude is anything as that he says he is. The video killer looks on Ryan trying to debunk remote viewers and believes his wife when I know, like, I don't, yes. And he came in first saying he didn't believe in psychics and stuff. And then his wife ended up being psychic, and it's crazy. What happened to that brother? Always remember that he actually likes rap music. Sorry, it's funny to me when said something. He said that he said that. And there's some pretty messed up things too that happen, like with Ryan. When we tried to, the same day that he was supposed to, I don't know if
he done been there once and supposed to went back and met up with Marvin stuff, and that was the same time that Marvin's young and stuff too.
Yeah,
next time he was supposed to meet Marvin.
I wonder if Marvin ever found out who called CPS on him, if he could find that out.
I don't know.
And the same, we also believe that Ryan was calling in the jail and having Fred's like chirps taken and stuff when he was pretending to be working with us. The guy is one of those that would do anything for money. It's sick. It really is. Andy was in chat, I believe, saying, why would Fred think something was wrong with his son being in the pool with Summer? But I thought his son wasn't in the pool, so why would he say that? Good point. Ryan manipulates Jen with allowing her to believe she is psychic because she suffers from mental illness and needed purpose. This is true. It's abuse and it's sad. Before this, he said he wouldn't leave the house. If you listen to how he talks or he treats her, yes, he did. She came and speak without looking at him. I know, and somebody mentioned something to me about how like he accidentally touched her boob one time and like he made a joke about it and got all uncomfortable and weird and like acted like a child. It's like, dude, that's your wife. You accidentally touched her boob and you're gonna say, oh my god, I'm sorry, I just touched your boob. Just weird, dude. I just don't understand. She seems so sensitive and stuff and gets her feelings so hurt so easily, but yet she doesn't have a problem with how her husband talks about Fred in the most horrible ways. Like, I mean, how does she feel about is she okay with him just like doing whatever? The dude was like, I mean, what? Is he sucking necks for money? I mean, seriously. I'm sorry, but for real. I'm sorry, but
when Ryan went up there and was searching 125 and stuff, he was more or less just following Andy around, you know. They didn't go to certain places and stuff that I feel like should have been searched more than what they did search. Like the cellar and stuff underneath 125 and all that, the dirt cellar. They ain't show none of that, you see.
Or when everybody was so
backside of that building that had actually fell down. See, that's where the whiskey barrels and stuff used to sit, where Fleeta had for water to catch rainwater and stuff in. But the backside of it and stuff.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah, I know that there's something up. And that's what I was going to say. He was when he came, that's what I was going to mention. He came around and he was saying that he used to be part of the, like some kind of, like conspiracy community or something. And, like, I wonder what happened then. It's almost like this dude gets like ran out of communities and like he causes havoc in communities and then moves on to the next one. And like, is that what he's going to do? Like once like, Andy's arrested and he has no more excuses to make, is he going to like just disappear and move on to the next community to freaking, wreak havoc on? Because it seems like he just goes from one. I don't know. I think he's some kind of a 9/11 conspiracy theorist. Yeah, he was on that History Channel, but you remember, and then that's another thing that he claims to be an expert on there. It was about the History Channel was about the Mormon religion.
Trying to what was it? I'm trying to think my words.
Something about the Mormon religion.
Yeah, it was about the Mormon religion, but I can't.
What's he doing at Eastman? He's a electrical engineer. The guy has been in computers for his whole life. Frame Fred. I really don't think he's going to be able to frame Fred at this point.
They can try all they want to.
Yeah, I don't think that, and it's going to be really hard to when he doesn't do anything. He doesn't like you drink or use drugs or anything. Doesn't really, you know what I mean? Stays to himself. So,
guilty of something before that.
I mean, there is things that people get set up for and stuff that, there is things like that happen, but I think there was a risk of that at the beginning and earlier on, but now I don't think that there is any chance that he'll get framed for anything like to do with Summer or
No,
I don't think so at any point now. I think at one time there was a risk of that, but I don't think it's possible now. He says it was the History Channel, but it wasn't. It was the History Channel in Canada. Oh. Jody mentions DJ Smith. She did. Jody mentions DJ Smith coming out telling more about Andy and Dawn than wants to name rings a bell. Yeah, DJ Smith's the one that was in the halfway house with Fred, who claimed to have known Playboy and claimed to have known where Summer was at. And
he talked a lot about Dawn and Andy. I mean, and pretty detailed stuff on how things even supposed to unfolded everything.
Yeah, he had a lot of information on Andy Bernard and Don Wells.
About Don and them until what he was saying.
But, you know, who knows? I mean, Fred turned the information in, and they took it seriously.
And everything, let them take everything, you know.
And they took it very, very, very seriously.
All of the
So
conversations and stuff between me and DJ.
this guy claimed to have seen, and claimed that they were dyeing Summer's hair red and perming it, and
yeah, and he knew. I told him up front when he first started talking about it. I said, well, I figured he'd just run off at the mouth at first.
Right. And then
he was more interested in trying to take and get some reward money.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, well, you know that the TBI is I'm going to have to take and turn all this into TBI, but I need concrete proof and stuff. And he was sending voice clips and stuff of supposedly Summer talking in that motel and all kinds of stuff. And see, they have ties to Atlanta, Georgia.
And the thing is, too,
Knoxville.
It is true that they when they dipped his phone, they also deleted about that whole freaking thing. So I guess
there's a few messages that didn't pertain to Summer. I mean, what we was talking about Summer that was deleted and stuff about me contacting about packages and stuff that had come to the halfway house and stuff for him and stuff like that. That could pertain to the halfway house, but anything that pertained to anything that me and him spoke about Summer, they took it off the phone somehow.
You're welcome, Sage. I'm just happy you're not upset with me. I was where you were upset with me. I'm just happy to know it's I think I know what it's about, or I have an idea.
They just taking an awful thing serious, real serious. Because they got 5 investigators in there, and that's going over maps, all kinds of stuff, exactly where the motel is supposed to be and stuff. But there's one house that they were supposed to be mostly housing the 11 children at that I didn't know where it was, you know. Dennis hadn't talked about that. He just talked about the house, you know. He didn't talk about the location, but he talked about the general location, but not a specific location. But he talked about Pacific motels.
Yeah, but in Paula, they made his past look worse than it really is, because it's really not like what people don't understand. And I know people get on me about defending Fred, but his past is not like what people say it is. He first got his first charge when he was 35, and that was that Virginia charge where he woke up to his sister firing the gun, and he shot back, got that shooting in the trailer, and then that happened. Ended up with a child, you know, neglect because of it or whatever, or child endangerment, I guess. And then there was the Roy Fanning thing when there was no charges from that. Huh?
Then Walmart deal with them boots, and then my Metros.
And then
Dealing charge.
and the dealing charge. There's not anything. He doesn't have
I'm
the.
on low, or what is it? Security probation.
Yeah. It's just these people trying to make it out because the whole Roy Fanning thing situation. I mean, he shot the guy, but that all was in self-defense. I mean, the guy, that was all mistaken identity.
He thought I was James Hill because him and James had gunplay over a right-of-way or something other.
Yeah, so that's.
And had gunplay before.
Did you hear recently Daisy's sister was allegedly told by Candace that they was being charged for yes, I did hear something like that. I heard a clip of Jinky saying that she said, what would you guys do if somebody came to you and told you that they were being charged for assailing their kids and physically abusing them, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, and yeah, that's very interesting. If I heard that, I would be very concerned.
But when Dennis talked about that in Knoxville and stuff, that gave me a lot of hope that she was still alive. I figured she was probably an accident cover-up or something at first. And then when he described everything, talked about the day she was supposed to went missing, and they put another day. And
so there's a big reason why he would change from accident cover-up to her possibly being alive or being, it being like trafficking. That's why he would change, is because something like that. I mean,
he talked about down to even them switching several vehicles within a certain length of time and all. I mean, it's supposed to went down on the 13th from what he talked.
Wow.
And then when word the DCS was coming on the 14th, they would put it off to the 15th for it to happen, supposedly.
Oh, just so that they could see CPS one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he was telling them the stuff what you're supposed to do. And the guy was totally knew Fred was going to turn it into law enforcement and stuff. And then he ended up he ran away or what?
He took off right there. I don't know, it was about a week or
he started using, I think, and took off. And then when Fred turned in the information, they showed Fred a picture and asked if it was they were like, is this him? And Fred was like, yeah, they got him right away. They found him in a rehab
somewhere.
Yeah, they found him in a rehab. But as far as like what happened after that, and like we don't know.
He spoke about a woman named Colleen would supposedly bring her a lot of. We go to McDonald's and bring her a lot of food from McDonald's and stuff, and kind of watch over her more than I don't know, kind of like I don't know this.
Yeah, and he was saying stuff like, they would yeah, it was. I don't even know if I want to get into this stuff because it's like horrible.
Because I don't be like that. They can speculate.
Was Sonia? Yes, and Sonia Sessions was his sister. Yeah, she's a sister of Dawn.
And most likely the way that DJ talked, Candace was probably lied to, in my opinion. Because they was supposed to took and got Summer back. They were just supposed to brought the money and stuff. I had a certain length of time. And then what Dennis talked about is Dawn messed that up because he took and called her in missing the same day instead of taking the money back or whatever.
But No, Paula, you're right. Paula, you're exactly right. Though you are that you're what you said, the low hanging fruit or the scapegoat, or is you're or definitely, definitely that's true though for sure.
See, as I look back on it, that could have been why Don told them that he was going to go to the local meth dealer and see what he knew and stuff. Because if anything come up and found her at a meth house or at a motel or something where there's a lot of drugs, then it would make it kind of look like him already throwing shade. You see, as I look back on it now.
Yeah, but law enforcement knew, like,
but they knew on the first day that Don had done took and tried to sell his first son for drugs.
Yeah.
For some reason, because that was the main reason they wanted me to take and hit on Don about who he owed right off.
Yeah, that's weird. That is a weird thing to know, that
So
law enforcement knew the day of Summer's disappearance that Don had sold or had attempted to sell his child before in the past. So, and we've heard on here, Mary talked about it.
So it has to be in a database somewhere.
Yeah, it must be. Well, it must be somewhere, in a database somewhere, because how did law enforcement know that the day of Summer's disappearance? Also, Ryan is going for money for his daughter's wedding. Young daughter. I was married really young and. Just because they dropped the SA charges doesn't mean it was not true. It came from someplace. Lying over the boy has saved them. That is what. Yeah, I think so too, Ivy. I do believe in the way Jinkies made it sound to me. That's what happened. I think. I mean, I could be. I don't want to put words in her mouth or anything, but isn't she basically saying that, that they were charging her with that? So is that why they dropped the charges? Because they signed over their rights? Hey, Jam. I wouldn't listen. Everybody has like their different gifts and stuff like that. My memory is not my gift at all. I have a bad memory. But I'll tell you, like, Fred has one of the sharpest memories I've seen of anybody. So, and I've noticed that over the years, not just, as me knowing him, personally. I even noticed that I'm like at the very beginning, and it's been consistent. He just has a really, really great memory. He's
hard to remember some of it.
I mean, it is a long time ago, and but
Pacific
compared to others, he's pretty. Compared to most, he has but that's why I tell people when it comes to his like memory and stuff, like you can count on Fred as far as like seeing things, like in what he remembers, but he is like half deaf. That's where he lacks. He's deaf in one ear. So that's why I feel like his senses are heightened in other areas. Jinkies didn't want to say it was true, but that's why she backed away, because she knows it was true. Yeah, that's probably smart. Daisy is another one who's been covering the ceiling for the Wells. She comes out talking about Fred, but knows this kind of information that says what kind of person she is. Yeah. I can't disagree with that, Brittany. I mean, and I'm not trying to have any problems with Daisy, but it's very hypocritical and that's what I don't understand with many of these people who have such horrible things to say about Fred. It's the same people who have all these, who are hanging out with Andy Bernard or partying up on 110 Ben Hill Road. You know what I mean? Like, what? You're going to talk about Fred like that, but yet you can go like, but you could be like besties with Wells. Please make that make sense, guys. Like, that's where I can't take him seriously. I just can't. Like, I can't take anybody seriously who has to sit there and just dog Fred constantly, but at the same time is besties with Andy Bernard and the Wells. Like, please. Please. Hey, Judge Laura. They sold her to someone or gave her. Yep, that's why Donna was down, because he knew he was leaving him. Or she was leaving him, hence, yep, staying at the top of the work. Oh man, and I think it's also a Scorpio thing. Like Fred's Scorpio, and they're natural like detectives. I mean, on any of you that's into astrology and stuff, Fred has a Scorpio stellium. So yeah, he's definitely a natural detective. I have like jinkies. I mean, like I don't really have a problem with. She's just said some things. I've heard some things that she said about Fred before. I think it's not very fair. But whatever. Yeah, Fred has Scorpio in his chart 5 freaking times. What's this thing? What's Jody Sue's title? Ryan finds truth hunting cornbread. Is that what she said? What? Oh gosh. See, me and Jody Sue, we have a lot in common. Ryan finds truth hunting cornbread and families. Please, locals, SUVs. Oh my, yeah. See, me and Jody Sue could be besties, like in some ways. In some, I mean, if she would talk like normally, not in riddles. And no, for real though, like for the most part, like we don't like the same people. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, send me all you have on the dude, because I know he's hiding something. Because obviously I'm going to sue him because he's not stopping. It's just unreal. Honestly, I wish these people would honestly just like be normal and stop, but they're not. So I'm obviously gonna have to sue the dude. He will not stop. I mean, he says the most outlandish stuff. It's always, and every single time it's funny. Like when he's interviewing somebody, he always has to go, "Do you know Fred Hill?" And he's just like foaming at the mouth, like hoping that they say some horrible stuff about Fred. It's like, dude, come on. I think Ryan is very brilliant. He looks at everyone. No, I don't see that. He doesn't look at it. I don't see him ever looking at everyone. I see him always looking at just Fred. I've never seen you in here before, Sharon, though, or Cheryl Metcalf. So it's not Metcalf. It's nice to meet you. Let's see, channel activity. You've only been in here today. So go back. You can. He's doing that for Andy. It's weird. You're a Scorpio too. Scorpios are awesome. They're one of the most favorited zodiac signs for some reason. They just are. As far as like, or one of the most popular zodiac signs, I guess you should say. I guess like as far as huh? Huh? Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm about to get off here anyways. No, wait on me. Waiting on me is stinking dirty. Ryan finds poo in a bucket. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. And his little shovel that looks like a spoon. Tracy's fuming right now, really? On the news telling them to drop her off somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna get much sympathy here as far as, or I don't see. Ryan really did me and Fred very dirty and continues to do us very dirty and continues and will not stop and says the most ridiculous things. He's gotten a hold of people behind the scenes trying to, get them to go to his side. It's just really freaking weird. He's acting like somebody who's being paid, or I don't know. Oh my gosh, Val, I tried to make a post of that because I was like, what is that? Aww. Love you too. All right, guys, I'm gonna go because I do have a reading I have to do. Actually, a couple. I have to get one of these done. I have one that I absolutely have to get done. Do that pick of you, Ryan's pipe. When are you going to be doing that skit? I am waiting for you to do that skit. Like, Val is going to be doing a skit with her and her friend. She said her fat gay friend who's going to. So Val has a very cool video coming to you guys soon. No, I guess she has a nose ring or something, and something's dangling off it. I can send it to you again if you need it. It's okay. Get that out there. You're funny. I'm too nice. Val doesn't have a channel, but she's supposed to send it. Well, yeah, you could just upload it to your YouTube, and I'll just share it. All right, guys. Anyways, it's good hanging out with y'all. But I think I'm supposed to be over at Sheriff's tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys there. I gotta go. I don't know. Diana's here right when I was about to leave. Are you serious? Oh, sorry. All right, guys. I am going to go now. Sorry, I'm so ADHD. I got into a text about somebody sending me some really good information on Ryan Dubay. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day or good night and a good rest of your week.